A Story of Second Chances, the new movie Lorelei follows Waylon, played by Pablo Schreiber, as he acclimates to life after prison and reunites with his high school girlfriend, played by Jena Malone.
That was Granny's face, you little piece of...
Calm down!
Granny's face! Let me go!
That's enough.
Clean that up!
Okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. You smell like diesel and cheap perfume.
And Pablo and Jena are here with me now. Hi guys, how are you both doing?
Doing wonderful.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to come together and talk about something you really love. So
Let's talk about this film. Jena, and I'll start with you. What made you say yes to this?
I felt very personal about this film. I mean, I was raised by two, women. There was like four kids, like right above the poverty line. So I felt it was a very personal story to me that I felt a little protective of.
I really love magical realism when it's used in film, and in American cinema we don't use it as much as in European cinema, and those elements of magical realism that she uses to me are the part that it's what sold me, and in the end it was the thing I was the most proud of that we kept intact. And that's the part that I was the proudest of, that she was able to manage to keep that story intact.
Well, Jena, let's talk about the story a little bit. You play Dolores, Waylon's high school girlfriend. He's been away for a long time. You two come back together after he's out of prison. What does her life look like when he comes back into it?
Well, it's not pretty, that's for sure. I mean, there's sort of this beautiful mess that parenthood and survival kind of dance together, and sort of denying herself a lot of the reclamation work of, who she is and who is her identity and who was she previously. And I think Waylon sort of coming back into her life helps her reclaim some of that.
Yeah. And Pablo, tell us about Waylon and where he is in his life when we first meet him at the start of this film.
Well, we meet him at the gates of jail, and he's just being released from a 15-year prison bid. So he's a man who, has lived incarcerated for the last 15 years with very strict rules and regulations, and he's now sort of a little bit lost and adrift in the real world and not knowing how to reclaim himself and reclaim his life. And then he comes into contact with Dolores, who was his high school sweetheart. And the performance that Jena delivers for me is one of the true graces of the film, where, the fearlessness that she has to portray the mess, the ugliness, that we all have in our life. Life is difficult, and it's hard and it's not pretty sometimes.
I think for me, a lot of my process with it was to just stay, as real. And I knew what her reality was. I mean, I was raised in a very similar environment, but then also being a mother and knowing the sort of violence of it, and the mess of it and the shame of it. And there's so much in that you have to kind of keep moving. And I like that Dolores keeps moving towards her joy.
What do you hope people take away from seeing this movie?
Oh man, I hope people are touched. I hope they're touched and moved, and they leave feeling that they've witnessed something honest. I hope it helps people reflect on their own relationships, their own journey through life.
Well, you can catch Lorelei on digital and video on demand right now. Pablo and Jena, thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Having us.